Hello again, everybody. Welcome to week 2 of the course here, International Business. Got my scenery up, and I want to say class as a whole, very good. One of the better collective groups. All you've been with me a while already, so good work. Discussions very good so far. Um, I'm going to start out with my weekly little tidbit of motivation or inspiration for you. I got the running scenery up here because part of I use analogies sometimes, like runner, but like to be a marathon runner, you have to be consistent and have habits, and that's my point this week is about consistency and habits. Um, you know, Habits are very important. I use like if you're a fitness person and you do 100 sit-ups and 100 push-ups every day, you get there by the habit of doing it every day and being consistent with that habit. So that's my point on there. Um, what We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence or consistency in that case then is not an act, but it's a habit. Um, and again, and especially with anything you do, not just school, but life, family, job, volunteer work, whatever the case may be. Being consistent, and it doesn't come by chance either. It's a choice. We make choices to do or not to do a task or something we're supposed to do, or we put it off till later. This applies to schoolwork. This could apply to anything. So that's the thing we got to be look at. I made up this little thing here. If you're not consistent and lack performance habits, ask yourself if you are reliable, trustworthy, successful. Um, if you're answering yes, then you're wrong. If you are not somebody who's consistent and you lack these habits. Are you late turning schoolwork? Are you late to work, or do you fall behind on something? Are you late picking up if you're a parent, are you late picking up your kids because something else got in the way? It has to do with time management. It also has to have with habits, the way you do things, and with schoolwork. Some of you this applies to, and some don't. You've mastered consistency and habits, but this may be also something. If it doesn't apply to you, maybe you are you're a manager or supervisor or something like that, and these little things I tell you, you can apply to people that work for you. You see somebody struggling, has an issue, because it's not necessarily about you, but if you remember one of my previous sessions, I talked about how you're an example, even if you may not know it, because people might watch you and view you as the example, positive example or negative example. So that's where this all comes in with being consistent, habits, making sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, all right, there you go. Course itself, like I said, okay, great, great in the discussion last week. We're talking about the globalization, things like that. Some good views in there on how it works. Upcoming week, I think it'll be another good discussion. This is usually another good discussion on the on what we got into this week. Because what you do is you go into the World Trade Organization and you pick a topic. So the link should work. It's also down here. So that should take you into the WTO. You can also Google it if you can't get in here. You can Google World Trade Organ or WTO events or news. But if you go in here and then you go into current news, you can get some some different topics in there. So, all right. You also got 3 chapters this week, so you got doing ethics, trade theory, and the politics. So they all interact depending on the countries you're dealing with. There's a lot that goes into it, a lot of do's and don'ts. So again, there you go. All right. With that, I'll try to keep these short because I know time's important. So that should do it. My test question this week has to do with my grandkids again. Um, you can let me know what they got here. I'll give you a hint if it helps. There you go. So anyway, that's it. Have a good week. Get in touch as always if you need anything, and keep up the good work. Take care, everybody.